Okay, deep breath. There was no Dusk report last Monday. None. Zero. The Reaper took a personal day. Turns out even death needs a long weekend. So, I'm sorry, and I'm making it up to you. 2 weeks of chaos, one episode, no breaks. And what a 2 weeks to miss. A $30 game is beating Nintendo in its own courtroom. Master Chief switched teams, and Xbox wrote itself a breakup letter and named it like a Wi-Fi router. Grab a snack. This is the Dusk Report. Eyes on the dark. Let's start with the little guy who refuses to lose. Palworld. $30. And across these 2 weeks, it climbed to almost 900,000 people playing at once. Second biggest crowd in the game's entire life. Basically knocking on a million's front door. Adorable. Here's the funny part. While it's doing those numbers, it's also taking Nintendo apart in court. Nintendo's big patent, the summon a creature and make it fight idea they aimed at Pocket Pair, the US Patent Office looked at it and went, yeah, that's obvious, people were doing this back on the PlayStation 2. Rejected. All 26 claims. And then, this same stretch, Japan's patent office rejected another one. That's not a lawsuit anymore. That's a losing streak. What's left is worth maybe 10 million yen, call it 60 grand, which, to Nintendo, is couch cushion money. So the tiny studio charged less, sold more, and is winning the fight the giant picked. Somewhere a Nintendo lawyer is quietly updating his resume. Story 2, and I still can't believe I get to say it out loud. Halo is on PlayStation. Halo. Campaign evolved. The ground-up remake of the game that literally sold the original Xbox. Went gold. Early access already dropped on the 23rd, and the full thing lands the 28th. On a PS5. Same day as Xbox. $50. Day 1 on Game Pass. Shiny new Unreal Engine 5. Plus a bonus 3-mission arc called Operation Meteorite. Now, Master Chief wasn't a character. He was the Xbox. The whole personality. And analysts think a third of the copies, maybe more, sell on PlayStation. Read that back. The mascot is about to make most of his money on the rival's console. That's not a crossover. That's a defection with a trumpet. Xbox isn't fighting the console war anymore. It's just trying to sell you a game wherever you already happen to be standing. Honestly, respect the hustle. Story 3. The people building Grand Theft Auto 6, yes that one, are unionizing. The Rockstar developers filed to make their union official, the one they put together after the studio fired 31 organizers last October. And over these 2 weeks, Rockstar finally answered. Not yes, not no, a statement that it'll arrange to meet, and that it already gives its teams, quote, world-class work environments. World-class. My guy, you fired 31 of them, and they're taking you to a tribunal in September. And the deadline the workers picked for all this? November 19th, the exact day GTA 6 launches. That's not a coincidence. That's a chess move. And look, you can be hyped for the game and still want the folks making it to, be able to plan a weekend. Both of those fit in one brain. I checked. Zoom out because there's a theme here. Xbox put out a memo, and I need you to know they actually titled it Resetting Xbox, where the new boss wrote, in real human words, our business today is not healthy. This after they cranked Game Pass up 50% and then admitted they lost millions of subscribers. Stunning. Raise the price, lose the people. Who could possibly have called that? Oh, and those cool games id Software pitched? A new Perfect Dark? A John Wick-style shooter? Dead. Canceled. Because leadership only wants proven tentpole franchises now. So the master plan is, no new ideas, sell the old ones to everybody, and title your turnaround like a phone you're about to factory reset. Inspiring stuff. Corrections corner, because I'd rather roast myself than let the comments do it. Last time, I told you a new Switch 2 was coming with a fancy upgraded screen, and half wrong. Nintendo did confirm a Switch 2 revision, so points for the smoke. But it's not a new screen. It's a battery you can actually replace yourself to follow Europe's repair rules. So I promised you a glow up and delivered a AAA battery. The fancy display is still just a rumor on a resale site. When I whiff, you hear it here first, with jazz hands. Whisper time. First, barely a rumor anymore. Those id Software games I mourned? Reporting says the Perfect Dark reboot, the gun fu shooter, the robot western, all pitched, all passed over, right before the layoffs, so it wasn't a mystery, it was a spreadsheet. Second, pinch of salt, but the smoke won't quit. A different Switch 2 screen, likely a sharp LCD, turned up on a Chinese resale listing. Different connectors, different guts. Nintendo swears the specs aren't changing, so if two Switch 2s off the same shelf run differently, you heard the words Silicon Lottery here first. And a quick one that's basically confirmed now. That Fire Emblem I swore was real, it's got a date, September 17th. Told you, ratings don't happen to imaginary games. What actually came out? The big one. Splatoon Raiders landed on the 23rd, Switch 2 exclusive, a single-player Splatoon, which, if you know Splatoon, is a genuinely wild sentence. Halo's early access opened the same day before the full launch on the 28th. And for the Chaos connoisseurs, these 2 weeks quietly slipped in some gems. A co-op horror game called The Crimson Maid, a Final Fantasy X-2 remaster for the people who never emotionally recovered, and a healthy pile of indies. Not a bad haul for a stretch everybody called quiet. Hyped? Splatoon Raiders actually stuck the landing. Reviews around an 80, praised for the combat and the visuals. Although, shout out to The Guardian, who handed it a 4 out of 10 and called it run-of-the-mill. A 4. That's not a review, that's a grudge, and I respect the audacity. Side-eye, 2 of them. 1. Halo's coming to PlayStation, but the collection of the original Halos never did, so you're selling PlayStation the remake of the games it was never allowed to play. Bold curriculum. 2. Xbox announced a see-through anniversary console. Limited edition, very shiny. The same stretch they cut 4,800 people. A translucent box, so we can all see right through it. A little on the nose, guys. So, 2 weeks, one breath. A $30 game is beating Nintendo in court and flirting with 1 million players. Halo defected to Sony. Rockstar's own people are organizing on the road to the biggest launch ever. And Xbox named a memo like a broken router. The giants still have all the money. They're just fresh out of the one thing money can't buy back. Anybody giving them the benefit of the doubt. And me? I'm back on schedule. No more personal days. Probably. New Dusk report every Monday, for real this time. Eyes on the dark.